All right. Good morning, everybody. Let's see. Froggy Gone and Knitting's in here. Perkins for Life. And we got Lucky House with a super sticker. Thank you. Ken Bates. And we have Polar Bear Ed. Casey B. Good morning.
Shut that one off.
Okay, I gotta go over here and turn this one off. Gotta drop this daggone link. There's that.
Dogs pulled the wires in.
No, dogs didn't pull no wires. It's called I overslept. Oh, Lordy. So, good morning, everybody. How's it going? I don't even have my first cup of coffee down yet. Just getting going.
Look at the afterglow. I think you need a shave.
A shave? Yeah, I might need to shave. Someday. We got go-karts going fishing. Morning, Nate.
Good morning, Bachi.
And we got the hibachi lady in there. It's too early for this. Sleep is overrated? Yeah, pretty much.
I think you stayed up too late.
Yeah, I might have stayed up too late. But anyway, everybody see that title. You might want to consider taking a coffee break. There's a story that goes behind that. Oh my gosh. It's horrible to say because I drive constantly for a living. The wife got that new car. I drove it for the first time. And on the screen on the dash, that's what come up on the screen that I might want to consider taking a coffee break. So it has that lane control stuff. So I must have been weaving too much in the lane or something. And the car is telling me to take a coffee break. And these things keep dinging. And I look at her and I'm like, what in the heck is going on? But the car felt I needed a coffee break because I was too much all over the place in the lane.
And you would only drive in 15 minutes.
Yeah, and I'd only been driving at 15 minutes. And I was like, what in the heck is this? They're making these cars so high tech anymore. It is unbelievable for the car to tell you you need a coffee break.
And as much as I drive that car, it's never, ever told me to take a coffee break.
The car must have known my coffee cup was getting low or something. I don't know what the heck. But yeah, it was crazy. I've never seen anything like it.
We should have took a picture of it.
Yeah, really. But that's the way it goes. That's where this title came from because we was dying laughing, trying to figure it out. And it's some type of lane assist thing or something. We was on a back road. We was heading down to Delroy, and the roads are real skinny and stuff, and potholes, and so every time I went to go around a pothole or something, the car must have thought I was going to sleep or something. I don't know what the heck triggered it. Morning, Wayne. Morning, Jeff. Yeah, I guess so, Jeff. Something. Morning, Ken.
Good morning.
And we got Froggy. Morning, Froggy.
Morning.
Good morning, Froggy.
Good morning.
Morning, Ken.
Ken.
Hey, Sandy, Froggy.
Oh, my goodness.
I feel like maybe I should have just stayed up all night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that messed me up going to work. Well, Thursday night I was left at 1 o'clock in the morning, and when I got home Friday,
You went to bed.
I went to bed. So I think that screwed me all up.
Yeah, and then you keep me up late.
Hey, but we had a good time though last night.
Yeah, we was on Mater's stream.
Mater had a good
Yeah,
stream.
it was a good stream last night. I think Ed
Morning,
was
Ed.
the sole survivor on Mater's.
Yeah, he was over Mater's good while. It was good. It was good.
Yes, I was.
Yep. Morning, KCB. Easier to do when you're younger. I
I'm trying
agree.
to get my.
Yeah.
I definitely agree.
Yeah, you used to be able to get sleep
Oh,
an hour
man.
and go another 24.
Okay. I agree. I'm old, okay? Just stop.
Well, I'm glad you finally realized you're old.
For 10 minutes.
So, Ed, why did my car, I've
You know, but
never
this
seen it
morning-
on my car. Why did it tell him to take a coffee break?
Rainbow 3, good morning.
Because he is weaving.
That's the only thing I can figure. It was strange. We're just going down the road and these daggone bells start dinging. And then that comes up on the screen on the dash. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding
It
me.
says you might consider taking a coffee break. And I'm like, what? Where the heck did that come from?
Yeah. Next time you're going down the highway, just sway back and forth,
Uh-huh.
and it'll tell you that.
I'm about to the point I don't even want to drive the damn thing. It's too smart. Oh, Lordy. It was bad.
But we was on Carroll County 20, so you know how Levy 20 is.
Yep.
Bad.
We took the back way down, and it was like, I was laughing so hard.
Now, why would you need technology like that just to pay a bigger repair bill?
Yeah, it's that, and people are getting lazy, I guess you'd say. That's why they have the lane assist and the accident avoidance stuff. People just don't pay attention. They got too much going on or whatever, and
I see.
But what's funny is we have all that turned off on the car.
Yeah, Nate, you're right. Good luck figuring it out. You got to go to this program, that program, and all it is it's a catch-22 money gimmick is all it is. Car rides nice and all that, but I don't know. It's just too much high-tech stuff in there for me.
well, like I said, it's a Kia. It's a know-it-all.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
but it's very, very comfortable, and it rides really good.
So when she takes it back up to get the oil changes and stuff done, I want her to have that shit turned off in it.
It already is.
Well,
I have it all turned off.
obviously it's not because it's telling me to take a coffee break, and I haven't.
Oh, there,
long enough.
there's some of those functions you cannot turn off, like the accident avoidance
Right.
stuff. It's safety stuff. You can't shut them off, just like the airbag warnings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right.
You can silence them, but you can't turn them off.
Good morning, Z.
Yeah. What we got? Oh, we got Mr. Briggs. He's coming in. Morning, Briggs.
But
Morning, Briggs.
It'd be a good morning if they shut the friggin' doors on time.
There you go.
You're right, Casey. They have the vehicles now that park themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen that on
I
TV
seen
that other day on a commercial.
Well, I'll
That's
tell you-
Ford's because they can't take a dent.
Morning, Dick Small Engine. But this is the funniest thing too about this car. You're driving at night. It turns the high beams on by itself. And when a vehicle's coming at you, it dims the headlights.
When it passes,
And
it goes back on.
there's so much electronic stuff on this thing. When this car hits 50,000 miles, it's got to go down the road because that's going to be an electrical nightmare.
Oh my.
I have never seen anything like it, especially when it was telling me take a coffee break. And I'm like,
It
what?
told you to take a coffee break.
My car, my
Honest
wife's
to
new
God.
car. Because I was weaving in my lane.
It actually told you to take a coffee break.
Yeah.
It said you might consider taking a coffee break.
Cool.
Well, that sensor is actually in the steering column,
Uh-huh.
and it senses the geometry of your steering. And when it goes back and forth between certain degrees constantly, that's when it says you're weaving.
Yeah, Jeff, I might need driving school. I don't know.
We might have to just keep try it again and then take a picture of it when it's on the console.
That's cool.
No, it's not cool. It was the bells were dinging and everything else telling me
Yeah,
to
it was
consider
cool because you should have seen the look on Mark's face. That was
Good morning, everybody.
incredible.
Good morning, Sparky.
Sparky.
Good morning, Ed. Good morning, Frankie. Good morning, Ken. Good morning, Mr. Briggs is driving a lorry. He doesn't know where he's going.
Hey, Sparky, I went to Echo 1st to the 19th. I don't need to hear the echo of the Sparkinator.
Good morning, everybody in chat. Happy Easter to everybody.
Happy Easter, Sparky.
Yes,
Happy
Sparky.
Easter
I'm loud
weekend.
today. I'm in a good mood. I've been playing Jerusalem on my radio for the show this afternoon, getting ready.
That's good. How's the show's coming? Pretty good?
3 hours a day, every day, and then set for Tuesdays and Thursdays. But I'm loving it. I've got a nice 8-foot desk to put together.
There you go.
8-foot desk.
Don't break it this time.
4 foot that way, 4 foot that way. I'm hoping it's going to just fit where I need it.
Ah, okay.
And about 120 wires to fit underneath it.
Oh my.
Oh, my dog would have fun.
Like, yeah, doing these kind of things. These are the best things ever. It stops your dog going, cat going near it.
Yeah.
Keeps the dog from tearing them out.
Yeah.
And everything is either super glued or gaffer taped to the top of it. No cables on the floor.
There you go.
Did you fix your chair?
I fixed it with 6-inch screws. Straight in the side with hot glue. It's pretty sturdy. It'll do the job. It'll last another 6 to 7 months.
There you go.
So what have you been up to then, Mark? Anything nice?
It's working.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff, I blame the dog because he dang well did it.
Other partners, life.
Hopefully not again.
Yeah.
Good morning, Doug. Good to see you moving
Morning,
around.
Doug.
Morning, Bama.
How are you, Froggy and Ed and Ken? And we know Mr. Briggs is like he's shining a light again.
Yeah.
I'm in a great mood, Sparky. I'm really happy and excited for you getting your new desk.
Heck
Oh
yeah.
yes. Can't do it till tomorrow. Can't put it up because I've got to have a day to do it. So I'm having half a day tomorrow and a half a day Monday morning.
Nate says he would have used 9-inch nails to fix that.
If I had 9-inch screws, I would have used them. They went straight into the plastic, not a problem. And it's pretty sturdy. It'll do the job.
He must
I think
put
he's making
him up through the cushion, so that's why he's giggling so much because he's sitting on him.
Morning, Lucky.
Morning, Lucky.
Good morning, Lucky.
Good morning, everyone.
I think Nate's making a music reference there.
Uh-huh.
I think it was.
Morning, Alan.
Crazy stuff. At first I thought, okay, this new car is breaking down already. Because all the daggone bells were ringing. And then I had to take a double take at the dash. You might consider taking a coffee break. And I look at Sandy and I'm like, what in the shit is this? And it took over the whole dash. Because the dash, when you're literally driving the car, it shows you all your gauges, your speed limit sign, all that is on the dashboard as you're driving this car. And then that come across it, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" When the wiring goes bad in that car, or the computer starts messing up, that car is going to be a major headache.
It is. It is. Just remember this: a computer was born by a man or a woman. You know what I mean? I'm not saying anything else on that one.
Road trip today going to Allentown. What'd you buy down there, Jeff? Wheel weights. He's been on a search.
You know
for
that car sounds like if you were going speeding over the speed limit, it would call the cops on you.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I didn't do that because I did go speeding. It didn't call the cops on me. It didn't jump.
No,
slow
I'm just
down.
saying. Hey, it's done I mean, come on. It's telling you to take a coffee break. You would shit. If a cop car came up behind you and pulled you over and said, "Well, your car sent us a text. You were speeding." I can picture that. A man dumps his Kia down a ravine. Claims it was a snitch.
Hey, I wouldn't put it past these car companies. You know, in the future, there might be like a speed limit, say going down the road 35 with the GPS signal to your car and minimizing it to go 35.
Yeah.
Right.
Control it on the speed. So.
Well,
mine does say the speed limit.
Yeah, I did notice it has the speed limit emblem on the dash with the white speed limit sign. But when you exceed that white sign turns to red.
Oh, wow.
Exactly. That car can snitch on you.
My father-in-law has the best one. He can go up to UK 100 miles an hour, right? And he said he's 70. The car will automatically flash all out of this. Slow down. And he's still going 110 whatever miles an hour, still going down the motorway. And he couldn't give a monkeys. And he just then flicks a button. He just ignores it.
Brother-in-law's the same.
Yeah.
Wayne, I don't know about that.
My GPS used to do that. It used to flash if you got above like 10 miles above the speed limit.
Yeah. And you just
I'm glad my GPS in the truck don't, because it'd be flashing all the time.
Well, Mark, you remember when they redid 30 out there? My GPS never updated, and I would get out there, and it would tell me, you need to turn around. You're off road or whatever, and it. Oh yeah, it was all kinds of haywire.
Yeah, you're gonna have.
Yeah. Does anyone remember TomTom having that national glitch for about a year when it updated? It actually decreased the speed limits and it actually decreased all the roads, like the different kinds of roads. And everyone was like thinking, "Hey, what's happened here?" Until they found the glitch. It was so funny, TomTom. They were funny people. They are. How they didn't actually realize a year later they just realized it.
I think that was the worst GPS that they ever come out with was that TomTom.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Two brothers made it in a back garden scientist thing, but they're billionaires now.
That's right, Jeff. I am definitely an amateur. You're right.
Does everyone know what's happening tonight in the world of mowers and engineering?
Is that Mick and Terrell Fix-All thing tonight?
There is a slight problem with UK people because we're going to be in the chat. I set up a Zoom thing for everybody. I can put 100 people in there, basically. And what we're planning to do is we're going to be watching it in there because we want to talk, discuss, have a good old meeting. You know what I mean? Have a good laugh with them all, and we're going to be doing that in our community in the UK. So if anybody wants to come across, go on to Engine Nuts on Facebook. It's already on there. So, yes.
You know what? We haven't experienced that yet.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd like that, Wayne. Mm-hmm. The vehicle hitting the brakes for you and everything.
It's supposed to be an accident assist or something like that to where it avoids you getting...
Mark, you already had that with your old semi, remember?
Yeah.
This truck's got that.
Yeah, if you want to go to the Small Engine Nuts on Facebook, all the details are on there. You can have a laugh, joke, and fun. From UK time, 6 o'clock onwards, it's open and can have some really good laughs.
Morning, Don. Good to see you. Yeah, Nate.
Morning, Don.
Couldn't afford Tom. Morning, RNS.
Morning, 2 ATVs.
Daryl's in here too. My goodness.
And RS is
Everybody
in
was
here.
up this morning except you.
Yeah, I could get up this morning. Yeah. But no, that car thing just really messed me all up. They got too many features on that car. Especially you're driving down the road and the headlights go to high beam all by themselves. Car comes at you, they shut down to the low beam and everything. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding.
But you can see for miles with my high beams and my low beams. That is great.
Yeah,
But did they install the rockets and the guns and everything in your car so when somebody annoys you, you can get rid of them?
no, that's what I told the wife. I said, you better be careful. It may have one of these injecting seats or something in it. I don't know. It's got so many stupid features.
Hey, does it have a moonroof?
Your missus.
Does it have a moonroof?
No.
Oh well, don't have an ejection seat. I mean,
Yeah.
if it had a moonroof, I'd worry.
Yeah.
But the problem is, you see, you've got your wife next door to you. If you really annoy her, she can press the button and stop the car. You know what I mean?
Right. But
Good morning, RS.
it's crazy. It's crazy. All these features on these cars, you know, why? It's really. I don't even think it's a safety factor or anything like that. It's just got you more looking at more stuff on the dash.
Yeah, possible to say.
I think it's more like they want people to buy new cars every 4 years.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I mean, them computers and all that stuff, a ground wire, anything corrodes or anything like that, it's actually going to take the whole car out. You know, it's going to shut it down.
But we got 100,000 miles.
I'm just going to pop off for a second. Right back.
Yeah, but these cars these days are not made for 100,000 miles.
I don't think so.
No, but I mean, our warranty is great, bumper to bumper for 100,000 or 10 years.
More distractions than anything. You're right, Daryl. You're absolutely right.
Specify how many miles within that 10 years?
No, it's full, bumper to bumper.
Bumper to bumper, 100,000.
Oh, that's not bad then.
No.
Warranty.
And I've already had it into them once,
because we had the electric start or remote start and all that and everything put on it.
And they paid for that because we told them we didn't want the car if it didn't have it, so they paid for it.
Smart.
Oh, wow. You're saying still.
Oh, wow. That's awful, Nate.
Wow. So, wow. That's something else. And the other feature was you pull up to a red light and the car shuts off. Sitting at the red light.
That flipped you out.
That was another thing that messed me up. I'm like, why in the shit is this thing doing this? They said better fuel economy. Shoot, that's got to be harder on the starter because you're constantly, every time you pull up to a red light, it shuts off and then it has to start back up.
Hate to see what it costs for a starter in those things because starters, they don't last forever.
No. Yeah. 101, throw it away. I know it's not going to get that many miles and it's going to be gone.
Vehicles are just getting broken at 100,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My Volkswagen is an 88 and it's got the original starter on it.
What kind of car is it? It's a Kia
Sorento.
Sorento. The bigger SUV.
Isn't Sorento a cheese?
Could be.
No, that's Sargento.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I woke up hungry this morning. I'm craving muskmelon for some reason.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, geez. Yeah, Twisted is still stuck in the 80s.
Yeah, you bet you. Shit that you can still work on. This stuff nowadays, if you ain't got a computer or you ain't smart enough to read the computer, you're in trouble because you're not going to work on it.
Screw that. I want to be stuck in the 70s. At least you can pop the hood and find the alternator.
Yeah.
Exactly. You open the hood on this thing, and about the only way you could go and change the oil is from underneath. The oil filter is all the way down in the bottom. You can't even, it's so compact inside under that hood. It would be a pain to work on it.
Donnie just got his wife a Honda CRV. It has that on it.
Yeah, Donnie, them are nice vehicles too. But
well, the Chevy Traverses, drain the oil from the bottom. Only way to get to the oil filter is from the top. You have to reach down through. They redesigned them a couple years back, and at least now the oil does. When you take the oil filter off, it doesn't run right down on the motor mount.
Yeah.
Oh, you got that? Is that the one that's got the internal oil filter on the top?
No. This one's a screw on, but it's on the front of the motor, and on the original Traverses, there was no way to reach it from the bottom. You can actually get the newer ones from the bottom, but you have to get them from. It's easier to get them from the top. But the original ones, when you unscrewed the oil filter, the motor mount was right below it, so all that oil would run right down on that motor mount.
Yep. Yeah, I remember them quite well, Nate. All you needed was a coil wire, and it would drive. It would run. Donnie, they're gonna be down underneath of the motor. All that plastic's hiding it, and it's gonna be way down at the bottom. If you lay down on the ground and look up in there, you'll see it.
Wow.
That's the way the wife's new car is.
Yeah, on some of the Chevy, I forget, I think they're the 4.3s or something like that. They've got the oil filter with the plastic cap. It's the oil filter housing is built right into the motor. It's got an insert.
Yep.
They used a plastic intake manifold on those, and if you use a regular socket on them, there's a lip on that There's a lip on that manifold. When you back that cap off, that socket will catch that plastic intake and crack it. Mm-hmm. You won't notice it, and all of a sudden you'll start getting lean codes and everything else, and maybe a misfire depending on how bad it breaks.
Right.
And the socket, they sell a socket for it, and every parts store has them. They're like $4, $5 for that socket.
But it's funny. These newer cars, the prices are going up, and with all this electronic and everything, but in all actuality, you're getting a lower valued vehicle. It just has all this computer stuff put on it. They're made very cheaply.
Yeah.
It's called disposable society for a reason.
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
Well, see, all of our new lease cars, our Traverses and our Trains, they are not Trains, Equinoxes, something, whatever they are. I forget what they are now. They are linked to the dealership via the GPS.
Right.
When it comes time for an oil change, the dealership calls me and says, hey, would you like to schedule your oil change?
Right. And then you're sitting there and your head's spinning like, okay, how do you know what's on there? For hours and stuff.
My Impala does that.
They can tell you exactly how many miles are on it, how many hours it's been on, how many hours are on the motor, everything.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, it's like anything that you buy or purchase, it has some type of tracking thing that they can actually tell you what that vehicle has done. And that is sad. If somebody has that much time to sit around and look at this shit and call people to tell them this. It's unreal.
When my son bought his brand new car last fall, he negotiated in the deal 5 years of oil changes.
Mm-hmm.
So he don't have to do nothing. He just takes it up there and gets it serviced.
Right. And that's the way her new one is. It's got the oil changes. It's got the tire rotations.
Yes.
It
I
has
think
everything.
mine's the first 2 years.
Morning, Crystal.
So Roy did that, which was just fantastic. So he doesn't have to worry about any of that stuff.
Right.
He just has to go up there every so many miles to get it done. And you're right. They call him.
Well, yeah.
I put a bullet in my head before I could change my own oil.
Yeah, but this is the downfall of it. This is why they're doing this, because they're putting these high miles for warranty. But by golly, you betcha, if you miss that oil change, then they'll use that as a way to cancel the warranty on the vehicle. You
But
can
they
bet
do
that's the
call.
reason.
Like Ed said, they know and they
Right.
call.
Right.
It's crazy.
They sent me a text message one time because somebody, I don't know if what they left on, because everything's supposed to time out, but somehow the battery in one of our Traverses was going low. They texted me to warn me that my vehicle may not start. The battery voltage is getting low.
Wow.
Wow.
Morning, Crystal.
Morning, Crystal. Morning, Mater's Tater. But they do. They call him about the oil changes. They called him about his tires. And he literally will go in the very next day and have it done.
Right.
So he complies with them. I mean, it doesn't cost him anything. But it's crazy.
Well, it's real funny. Tell them to trip a check engine light. Just go out and unplug one of the sensors or something, and plug it back in. He'll get a call or something about it that hey, you got a check engine light on. Would you like to schedule a service?
You don't even have to do that. Just loosen the gas cap and let it drive around a little bit. When that light comes on, don't call them for that.
No, because most of them have the warning for the gas cap. But if you unplug unplug the mass airflow sensor or unplug one of the coils or something like that and get a check engine light, they'll call you and let you know.
Oh yeah.
Morning.
Crazy.
Morning, Maters girl.
Good morning, Mater's Tater.
Good morning.
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 And you know what that is? We do batteries and stuff where I work at. And oh my gosh, some of these batteries, you have to take so much stuff off the car.
Just to look at it.
It is unreal. Some of them I won't even
Uh-oh.
touch because
What's
they have
Lucky?
the computers and everything on them.
What's Lucky got in his hand?
I finally got an appointment to register my car. I've been trying to do it all week long, and that's the only way you could be able to do it.
Yay, Lucky.
Wow.
There's certain locations where I've been trying is they don't have no reservations because you got to do it all, by appointment because of COVID.
Yep.
And I guess somebody canceled, and I just logged on at the right time. I just got it. So next Friday, I should have a
Awesome.
registered vehicle.
Okay.
Wow.
Now
That's
you got
fantastic.
now
I've
you
been
got
waiting
work.
almost a week, trying every day, several times a day, get
Wow, they won't even let you. We just walk in now.
No,
Yeah.
you have to print all this paperwork out, which I did that. And every once in a while, I'll pop on to see if I could get a reservation.
Right.
And it's been pretty much all week. Everything is every day is red. And I happen to see 2 days that was free. So
Yeah. See, down here, you can just walk in, no more than 10 people in the tag agency at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And to go switch everything, do all the paperwork, they have 5 paper people for that, and then they have maximum 5 people for the ID. And they are taking no more than between 20 and 30 people for the ID per day.
Right.
You just walk in. You
Yeah.
just have to
Just
wear a mask.
walk in. You go to the title bureau, get it all done, registered, and then you go over to the license bureau and get your plates, and you're done.
Now, the license plate and everything is all done at once here. You walk in, I need, like when I got my car put in my name, walked in with the title, bill of sale, and it cost me $170. And when I walked out, I had the license plate in my hand.
Right.
See, ours is 2 different places.
Yeah.
We have
That's where I
title
get
bureau and license bureau.
That's where I get lucky at work whenever I do renewals there. Ours has a drive-through. I just pull
we
up,
have a drive-through.
tell them who I am, what I'm doing, drop the stuff off, and I put one of my business cards on the thing. They call me when they're done. I go back through, and they let me go through the drive-through. You're not supposed to go through the drive-through for pickup like that, but they let me go through the drive-through, do my credit card. $1,500, $1,800 later, I'm driving down the road.
Yep.
Why can't it be so easy like that in Rhode Island?
Yeah.
I swear to God, it's really bad. They have, I think, 4 locations, but every time you go in there, it's like mad people.
Right.
Well, it's nice. This license bureau is in an old bank, so they already had the drive-up window and everything already.
This place here, you go in, you push a button if you want a registration or ID. 2 little buttons. You pick which button you want. It gives you a number, and then you sit down on a bench and pack a lunch and wait for your number to be called. It could be 2 hours, 8 hours. As long as you're there, that's how long it takes.
Wow.
Yeah, we lined up between 4:30 in the morning just to get our name on the list.
Yep.
Wow. I was at 8:30 when they opened up. I was number 22 out of 26, and they called me at 10 afternoon because some people weren't able to come in. I was in, and by 2 o'clock, I was up there at 12:30, and by 2 o'clock, I had my paper for my license. Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to call and wake Mater up. He said if I could to do it, but didn't work.
I'll never complain about my DMV again. Mine's nice.
Yeah, ours is
well, I'm going to tell you about your DMV, Froggy.
Oh God!
Our place down there in Virginia. We're in Ohio, but we had to pay personal property tax on our vehicles and get our license plates for Virginia. And we can do all that right here from Ohio, and we can buy a 4-year plate.
Right.
Nice.
For Virginia.
Right.
We have to get ours done every year.
And we're not even in Virginia.
I totally hate that. My cousin lives, I got 2 cousins that live in Virginia, and they tell me that, and like the newer the vehicle, the more you pay for that property tax on a car. Yes, what a joke.
Yes. Well, but Virginia, I mean, your tools, ATVs, anything that you have that they can pick up on their camera whenever they go up to do the assessments and stuff, they tax you on it. If they see it, if you don't keep it hidden in a building that they can't see it, you're going to pay personal property tax on it.
That's true.
And they got me on that, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. Yeah.
So Lucky would have to pay tax on his Lucky 7 if he was down there.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And if they can't.
It doesn't have a VIN number. Lawnmowers don't have VIN numbers.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Tractors, implements, you pay personal property tax in the state of Virginia.
Yeah, see, in Oklahoma, you don't have to register a fishing boat. They do because of that right there. If somebody walks up, well, why isn't this registered? Because I don't have to. Oh, right. Well, yeah, you do.
Right. So. You're right, Daryl. Everything is online in Virginia.
I wish it would be that simple where you could do it online. You know, show the proper IDs, do whatever you have to do, and have them mail you the plates. That would be nice.
Right.
Yeah, that's not going to happen because they want to make sure who you are in person.
But it's okay for the voters?
Right.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Lucky.
I don't agree with the mail-in votes. I stood in line, and I was not happy about having to the mail-in votes because my daughter is in another town an hour away. She got a mail-in vote, and I'm like, she said, "Where's my voting place?" I said, "Find it," because you're an hour away. You're not registered down here. She was not happy about that. Neither am I.
Yep, you're right, Nate. You're exactly right. But we don't have to deal with the emissions and all that in Ohio. Just certain parts has it. But the part we're in, we don't have emissions or anything. It's pretty much, if it's got a seat belt and lights work, you're good to go.
Wow.
We don't even have inspections here.
Yeah, we don't either.
No.
No, I don't.
No,
I don't
like
even
me.
have to make sure the
Like-
lights work.
The only mission we got is the check engine light. As long as the light's out, you'll pass.
That's basically what we have here. If you don't have an engine light and they hook up the computer, they really don't even check to make sure. They just physically look at the car. Most of these places just look at the car. Yep, good tires. Yep, okay, not a problem.
No.
Stick a smog test in there. Make sure you don't have the engine light, and that's it. You're good to go.
Nope. None of that. They did away with that when I was 19, so 21 years ago. I literally pulled up to a station to get inspected, and he just turn your car on. Okay, well, you ain't got smoke, so here's your sticker. Have a nice day. I went in the next year to do it, and he said, "Oh, don't worry about it." I said, "What?" "Oh, they quit doing inspections. You don't need one now." I was like, "Okay, save me $20."
Well,
$20
here
bucks.
in Ohio, the only inspection you have to get on your vehicles if it comes from out of state, and you have to physically drive the vehicle in to get it inspected, but you don't have plates on it.
Yeah, you told us about Corvette, I believe, for your boss.
It's Mustang.
Okay, I should know that because I've got the town of Mustang here.
It's $85 to have a car inspected here in Rhode Island. $85.
Holy crap!
I'm afraid of what it would be if they restarted inspections down here, because as is right now, if it was $20, I'd be out $60 because I'd have to pay for my brother since he's on my insurance. And that's the other thing is you have to show proof of insurance.
Wow.
Right.
So because I've got him on my insurance, so that he can get the title in his name, I would be out $60 right now if they didn't jack it back up.
Right. Well, Jeff, that went out whenever they couldn't make enough money on just checking that little bit of stuff. It's all about the money nowadays.
Yep.
They do that here, Jeff.
We got California emissions. Like my truck, it says under the hood, I mean, federal emissions. But I can't. But a catalytic converter for my truck, if I buy it any other state but California, New York, is $169 for a federal catalytic converter. But the California version is $900. I got to buy the California one if it ever goes bad.
Ouch.
But this is the sad part about it. Every vehicle you buy, even a lawnmower, has the California emissions on it. And even though you're not in California, who's going to drive a lawnmower to California?
I got a couple. Well, besides Lucky, I know a couple of guys. I know one guy, he literally has made custom saddlebags for his riding lawnmower.
Yeah.
They go over the hood for 5-gallon gas tanks.
Right.
He had driven that thing all over town.
My new power washer came with another jet for the carburetor. One's for California and one is for any other use in any other state. But there is a jet that's in a plastic bag hooked to the side of the motor for California emissions for my power washer. Give me a break.
It wouldn't surprise me if California made you emission test your lawnmower.
They might very well.
Well, you can bet the one that Froggy's husband just bought, that motor is set for California emissions.
No, that is.
Yeah, I guarantee it is, because
that's a sucker bet, Mark. That's all there is to it. That's a sucker bet.
Yeah, I guarantee it's California emissions, but when he starts having issues, I'll tell you how to get around that and take that off, and you won't have your problems no more. Oh, look at there. We got Daryl in the basement. Morning, Daryl.
Morning, Daryl.
Morning, Daryl.
Morning.
How's everybody doing this morning?
Doing great.
Well, y'all was talking about California. Well, I mean, Mark, you probably know about all this, but I mean, now they want you to cut your reefer off if you're running reefer out there. You
Yep.
can't hold a truck. You can't, or to stay warm or cold. I mean, you can't even run if you got one of them daggum $8,000 generator sets on your truck. You can't even run that anymore.
Right.
In California. So
But the state of Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and all that's already that way.
yeah. Well, I had and if you don't have a sticker on your motor, this was 10, 15 years, 12 years ago. If you didn't have a sticker on your motor on the engine of your truck that said that it was 2001 compliant, you couldn't even enter the state of California.
Right.
And I mean, but nowadays it's liable to even be worse than it's probably got to be a 2007 or whenever it changed the last time around. So I mean, that's why I always try to stay out of there. So.
Oh yeah. Morning, Ken.
Well, wait
Morning, Ken.
and see if they pass this new legislation where you can't modify your own vehicle.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, no.
Hello.
Well,
Sorry.
Even
Scam
your
likely.
old cars, are going to have full complete exhaust with converters and everything put on them.
No.
Wow.
I'm being YouTube compliant.
Yeah. Orange County Farmers Show. Yeah. First pull.
Just your lawnmower.
Yeah, no, if they tell me I can't modify my own vehicle, we're gonna have problems because I've got to put an exhaust on this Honda I've got because my kid hit the tracks and there went my entire exhaust, catalytic converter and all.
Oh boy.
Oh, Mater's up.
Morning, Mater.
Morning, Mater.
And
Morning.
Kip, are you off to breakfast?
But
I got it late.
so
24 degrees.
24 degrees. Woo.
I don't even let's see if it'll tell me.
I got 17 degrees.
Because he's over.
It ain't telling me.
He's in Connecticut, Nate. That's why it's daylight.
Well, but John Deere's already got it set up where you ain't supposed to be able to modify anything on even the tractors. I mean, the electronics on the John Deere, you got to take it to a John Deere dealer to work on the damn thing. I mean, farmers can't even work on their own trucks anymore, tractors anymore. So.
Yeah, you're talking to someone who grew up with an Allison chain sitting right outside her grandfather's house, and I visited every weekend. Bet me I wouldn't go in and fix that thing. And that John Deere, that'd be a snap. I'd work on that. But me having to go in and fix my exhaust, yeah, I'm going to find someone to do it because it's a lot easier for me to take it into the shop and leave it for an hour or two. But right now, I have a choice. I'm either going to get the exhaust that does the 2 or 3 curves, or I can get a straight pipe. If they say I can't modify it, then that means I couldn't get the straight pipe. And I'm sorry, it's cheaper to go get a straight pipe. So.
Yeah, that is true, Don. Anything over 8 years old has to be inspected. To go in there, I don't run out there no more.
Well, that's why I never run out there either. So. But I think the last new truck I drove was a 2005 model, and the company I worked for, I told them I had a fuel filter going bad on it, and they run a maintenance check on it while I was going down the road, and all through the satellite system, and turned around and told me that I could make it onto the shop in Atlanta instead of stopping on the road to get it fixed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah, the technology today is unbelievable, but then again, I think the technology is really, really way too much.
yeah, it is. I mean, you ride you ride by cars. I mean, you're sitting up there looking down. How many times they got these radios now with damn television sets in them? People are
Yeah,
paying attention to the daggum television set and the radio, and I mean, it's crazy with all the electronics and all the flashing lights and everything else looking down in the inside of a car now. I mean,
right.
or you take your semi trucks. All these company trucks now have got damn cameras facing back towards the driver to see if he farts or not. I mean, excuse my language, but I mean,
All right, what's the channel's name? We'll do that for you. Go ahead and go back to sleep. We'll keep an eye on him.
yeah, that's the wife. The wife's got her own channel now, so that's that's her channel. So. And so she's sitting there trolling me.
Yeah. What's that, Ken?
I bought this truck last year. I was looking for a new vehicle. My truck transmission went. So this truck is a 2006. So it was 14 years old last year, but only had 60,000 miles on it. And you know what? It doesn't have half the computers that today's have on it. That's why I bought it.
Right.
That's what I would prefer, something like that. I don't want, to have to turn power on a computer to start my car.
Well,
which is what it's getting to.
Well, I mean, but I got a 2003 Explorer sitting out here in the yard. You can't even check the daggone transmission fluid in it because it don't have a stick. I mean, you got to take it to Ford to get them to just get them to change the damn fluid. So, excuse my language. You got to get them change the fluid in it just to see whether get it back to level. I mean,
right.
It don't make sense. I mean.
They're making everything as a catch-22. I mean, Froggy, and you'll find out that new Cub Cadet that your husband just bought, it's going to do him good for a while, but it literally, honest to God, truthfully, has the California emissions stuff on it. All the new motors, all that, and it's a different jet in the carburetor.
Yeah.
And that when I bought that new power washer, the jet was hanging there, hooked there on the exhaust shield, and it says California emissions. You must use this jet if you use this machine in California.
Yeah,
and it's crazy.
Wow.
It had a lid too.
Right. It's absolutely right, Ken.
And it reduces the they run like crap.
Right.
Okay.
And a lot of people, they buy these weed eaters. They have a spark arrestator in it. It's nothing more than a little screen inside of the exhaust. 9 times out of 10, when that thing plugs, you'll never start that weed eater again.
Oh,
yeah. You take the exhaust off of it, do away with that screen. Just take it completely out of it. You don't need it. It'll run just fine.
Mark, that screen is for flame so you don't cause a fire. That's the main reason for that screen. There's actually a catalytic control block in the muffler in the dash versions of like steel. They actually have a catalytic block in there. The screen is for fire prevention.
Right. But it's a crazy setup, and they plug up.
Yeah, you won't be able to rev the engine when it's up. I just burn them off with a propane torch.
Yep.
Well,
that also tells you're too rich.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got a pressure washer I've used one time sitting out in the shop and it won't crank now. So I'm thinking, I bought it in South Carolina, which was on flat ground. Now I'm up here in the mountains, so I don't know. I probably gonna have to change the jet in it whenever I get out there and because it will not crank at all now. So
Huh.
But that's it. I bought it about 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, I think it was. But
Mater said let him get some coffee and he may try and come up on panel.
I don't know if I got room for any more people. I'm allowed 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here,
Yeah.
Mark.
I can put one more up.
I'll drop out. I don't have a problem
you
with it.
just drop
He
me
knows
out
I
if you
will.
need to there. I was just gonna jump in here about what y'all talking about
Mark,
this.
you can click on that picture and show them the Cub Cadet.
Where's it at?
It should be next to me.
Let me see here.
Could always drop me if you need to.
I'm gonna drop here a little bit. I gotta go meet the insurance adjuster for that roof.
Uh-oh. Down at the farm?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Thank you, Nate.
I can't get the picture.
You just click on it.
Can you undo breakfast after that?
There's that Cub Cadet, guys.
Yeah. Yep, that'll have all the California emissions, all that on it.
Man, that thing's shiny.
I think it's a pretty yellow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Although I'll admit I want orange
That looks
on
like
it.
Looks like what?
it looks like caterpillar yellow.
That's what I was thinking.
Probably is.
It could be.
As long as they ain't got the plastic transmission like they're putting in some of them, it's okay.
No, it's metal.
Aluminum, but still.
Yeah. He's right.
I had a John Deere dealer tell me last year that those plastic trannies are better built than the aluminum and will outlast one. I said, give me one. I'll go give it to a guy with a mud mower, and he'll rip it apart in 5 minutes for you. He bet me I'm wrong. I said, give me one. I'll take it up to a guy up in Rhode Island there, and he'll put it on his mower. And I showed him one of Lucky's videos. He said he guarantees he could put it through a mud bog with that. Bull crap. I bet you he'd rip one apart in an hour.
Yeah, thanks, Nate.
Transmission, they're variators. That's all they are, is variators.
Right.
They're not transmissions, they're mini bike variators. That's all they are.
But how many things have you torn apart, Ken, that you find nylon bushings nowadays?
Oh no.
Well, I've actually replaced the plastic transmissions. They were made by General Transmission. At first, ones they were on were the John Deere D105s, and they actually had a recall on them because the whole pulley variator system was held out by an M3 screw that would break and blow the thing apart. And then the whole case was plastic. It was ridiculous. And then finally, General Transmission, they stopped that time, went to a beefier, which it does work, but then again, it is plastic. So, you know, how long is it going to last?
But then you get into the new technology of the mower deck bearings and all that. They're all sealed units. There is no more put a grease gun on it and grease them. The newer equipment coming out today is like all greaseless stuff.
Everything I service, I will drill a grease fitting, take them apart, take out the inner seals, and grease them.
Yep. And they don't want you to do that, though.
Oh, no. But on some of the older models, like the ones you get at Home Depot and Lowe's, when you buy them, you go to the dealer, they sell greasable or non-greasable, depending on what model of tractor you tell them. Same exact spindle, it's just that one has the fitting, the more expensive model will have the fitting, the cheaper Home Depot will have the throwaway, and it's only like $5 difference. That's it.
Right. But a lot of people don't know that, what they're buying.
No.
Yeah. And another thing, when you buy the spindle or you have the spindle without grease fitting, you got to remember, there's double sealed bearings in there. If you drill a hole and put a grease fitting, the grease will never get in the bearing. You have to pop them apart, take the inner seal off so that the grease can get in there.
Right.
Put the fittings on, pump the hell out of it. Oh, I'm okay. No, you're not.
No, because it never got to where it needed to go.
Well, I got a Hyundai.
Last forever because they're double sealed bearings. Well, they still won't last forever.
Right.
Thank you.
I got a Honda ATV right now that I got to go. I got to take the front end apart just to put a steering bushing in the steering sector on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, well, it's a 2002. I can't complain about it, but
Right.
but it's sealed. It's a sealed bearing, so you can't put no grease in it.
Yep.
If I could just grease it up, the bearing's not loose or anything, but I got to tear it apart just to get.
Just because it's sealed bearing, you can still take the seal off, put grease in, and put the seal back on. You can.
Yeah.
People don't realize that. They get a sealed bearing. The seal pops off. It's a design bearing. Okay, did it for 20 years. The seal pops off. You grease it. The seal pops back on. You're done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the thing about it is the it's got a seal covering, another rubber grommet on top of it that pops down in there on top of the bearing, on top of the seal bearing, and all that's dry rotted because it's a 2002 model. So when I tear it apart, I might as well do it the right way and put a new bearing in it. So
right.
Sparky growling?
I don't know what he's doing. He was here and he had to go do something and he had to split.
Yeah. I designed for a company called Barden Corporation in Danbury, Connecticut. And I designed bearings for about 20 years. And people, when you buy a bearing and at the end it says 2RS, 2X2, and then double seal, that seal has a metal piece that the seal is molded around, and that acts as the retaining ring or the end cap to hold, sometimes to hold the cushion, but sometimes most bearings have the ring machined in them. It doesn't retain the balls or the cage, just for either what's called a shield or a shield made of paper that keeps crap out. A seal is rubber and keeps lubricant in and water out. But you can 99% of all bearings, you could take off what's there and put on a seal, or take the seal off and put it back into every bearing in the world.
Yep. It's crazy. What are you working on there, Lucky?
I'll explain very shortly.
When I hear John Deere, I add a 0 to the end of the bill.
Pretty much.
Well, it's just like Harley Davidson. You're buying a daggum name that is left.
Deere just sound like some slick growling.
But this is what's funny. You want to talk about Harley Davidson? The starter went out on my bike and went to Harley Davidson to purchase one. Had to order it. When I got the starter, now mind you, Harley Davidson is supposed to be American-made bike. Bullcrap. Yeah. My starter was made in Taiwan. Amen. So I asked the guy, I said, I thought these were supposed to be made in the USA. He laughed. He said, look at your title when you go home. I said, what are you talking about? He said, just look at your title when you go home. The bike was assembled in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, what was it? In about 97, 98, all them guys up in Milwaukee up there, they started laying off people in Milwaukee at the Harley Davidson plant. I think that place is basically a ghost town the last time I was up there. Which I mean, like I said, I hadn't drove in 10 years, but it was basically a ghost town then. I mean, as far as anywhere around Harley Davidson plant up there, or that place in Iowa, either one. So,
right.
Yeah, and it's just simply because there were huge tax deals going on. I believe it was with Clinton. Not sure, not 100%, but they were able to go down to Mexico for all the plants and stuff, ship out to China, Taiwan, overseas, anywhere.
Yeah, Bill Clinton signed the North American Free Trade Act.
Yeah, that NAFTA is what NAFTA. I mean, I remember Ross Perot back in '88 was sitting there, or sometime or another, was talking about the big vacuum sucking sound. Well, it sucked all the daggone country, all the jobs out this country. So anything that's supposed to be American made now, there ain't nothing made in America no more hardly.
Right.
Plants I used to haul out of, they don't even exist anymore. So.
All right, so to answer Mark's question, what was I working on? Last night on my live, I gave away Amazon cards, which all 3 were donated back to the charity. And I just ordered a total of 150 facial masks.
There you go.
And they will be delivered anywhere between April 7th through the 10th, which I got to check the email they just sent.
Mater, it was an Electroglide. Hi, vegan realist. But needless to say, I don't have that no more. We got rid of that. But we were thinking, if we don't start getting some tractor pulls, we're going to either buy a boat or we're going to get another bike. Because I'm not going to sit around all summer again.
Well, are they? Y'all got? I think. What was it? Ed? Didn't you have posted that? Y'all supposed to have some pulls this year and all that stuff? Or?
We're supposed to. I don't know what Ed that was making schedules or something, but I have not heard nothing yet.
Well, there's a couple special ones scheduled, and then I know there was a couple places further down south that were talking that they were supposed to have a schedule out by the 1st of April, but I haven't seen anything.
I haven't seen nothing. But it's crazy.
Can you guys still hear me, or am I breaking up?
No, we can hear you now. You were breaking up real bad.
It seems a bad connection today. I meant to ask Ken if he ever made it up here to Monroe the other week.
Ask her who?
Ken going to come up here to Monroe, Connecticut to pick up a Power King.
Jeff.
Oh, Jeff. Yeah, I don't think Jeff did. He was going on a road trip down into PA today. He was saying this morning, so I think he might have found some weights or something.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ken. I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing at the boyfriend and what he put in the chat.
I got my wife for that. She laughs at me all the time.
Mater, we wouldn't know who that would be.
Not a clue.
I'm afraid to put her on the live with me because she'll get more popular than me.
Yeah. Oh well. Some of them rides though are real nice, but then some of them poker runs they get too stupid.
Every poker run's stupid.
Well,
always somebody getting in a wreck on a poker run.
Well, a lot of them are for good causes to raise money and everything for people that's gotten hurt and stuff. But the bad downfall of it is every time you draw a card, you're at a bar, and most of them are drinking. And I don't much care for that.
No, that's the only thing I would have against a ride. Going on a ride with him is if it started or ended at a bar. Even though, I would know he wouldn't do anything to risk me. He wouldn't be the one I would worry about. It'd be the other people.
Now, the run that we ran every year, we never missed it. It was for Akron Children's Hospital, the Teddy Bear Run.
Yeah.
We would do a run, a long run, and end up taking about the whole city of Akron, nothing but motorcycles, and them teddy bears would go to the burn unit and cancer children in the hospital, and it just made their days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. I got a friend of mine. He's from Akron, Ohio.
Yeah, that's a big teddy bear run right there. It happens every year.
Okay, and Mater's saying his poker runs start and end at a bar.
Yep. Every poker runs that way, and that's the downfall of them. Every time we draw a card, it's always in a bar.
Yeah, and it's like I said, I'm not worried about him and I being
Other people.
yeah, it's the other idiots. The other guys being idiots.
Exactly, Wayne. Exactly.
Well,
Harley is not American made, like they say. I think Honda is probably the only bike manufactured in Marysville, Ohio, that is American, other than the motor parts.
and the ATVs are made in Timminsville, South Carolina, as far as
Yep.
Honda and the Hondas.
Yep, exactly, Daryl.
And but I mean, my father-in-law, he worked at Volvo out here building them heavy-duty trucks. You know about where I'm at there on 81 there.
Okay.
But that's where we live. You know, we live about 7 miles from the Volvo plant there in Dublin, Virginia. And well, he worked out there. He was the head electrician out there. You know, and he swore up and down that Ford was the only thing built with all Ford parts. And I told him, I said, Bobby, I said even the motor in that 2003 model Ford out there is not built in the United States. He said, oh yes it is. I said, no, it's not. I reached over there and I popped the hood because I was hauling Ford parts all the time anyway. So I popped the hood on, opened the hood up on it. I showed him stamped on the block. I said, "Made in Germany," stamped on the block of it.
Mm-hmm.
I said, so I mean, and as far as cars goes, I think the Toyota Camry or something or other, the one that's built in Kentucky, it was the one with the most U.S. parts was a Toyota. So I mean.
You going, Don? You going to PA? You going to Hookstown?
Hey, Willie. My husband did all the heating and air conditioning ductwork in the Volvo plant.
Yeah.
I'm in Christiansburg.
Yeah, that's well, it's Dublin, Virginia, but yeah, Christiansburg is right next to it. So.
Yeah, I'm not far from you.
Well, I mean, we're in Pulaski, Virginia.
Yeah, I know where Pulaski is. I'm not far from you.
Oh, okay.
That's where my heart doctor was in Pulaski.
Yeah.
Cool.
Morning, Willie.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think Volvo's building a great big old plant beside it that there now. He's probably gonna be doing work over there probably, but.
Right now, he's doing CRCs over at Virginia Tech.
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, I think it's Volvo's building another big plant there. I think they're supposed to be making electric heavy equipment. Gonna build it out of that place. So
wow,
it's gonna be electric stuff. So
I don't see how that big electric stuff's really gonna work out.
I don't either.
I don't see it.
I mean, that means every night you can't pull over somewhere and plug in. I mean, the Volvos that they got coming out now, or the electric Volvos they got, it's got 150 mile radius, 150 mile on a charge. I mean, 150 miles is nothing to a truck driver. I mean, what's he gonna do? Take a load from there to Roanoke and back home, and that's gonna be his day.
That'd be about it.
Right. I kind of figured that, Don. Whenever you said you was going over to PA, I kind of figured. But yeah, back to that 150 miles and stuff. Shoot, I'm doing 600-700 miles.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And you said heavy equipment. So if they're doing Caterpillars, bulldozers, stuff like that, they only get 150 miles on the charge. Then they're not counting what it takes when they're actually using the digging equipment and stuff like that on it. That's going to drop at least 50 to 75 miles off the charge.
Well, Well, that's the semi trucks that they got running better testing right now.
Right,
150 miles.
No.
So
people are complaining that they're not getting their freight and they're not getting this. Yeah, you go to 150 mile and you got to shut down for a charge.
Yeah,
You're in trouble.
Yeah.
And
it's going to take you 4 days to get a delivery that normally would take you an hour. Would normally take you just a few hours.
And
so no.
I mean, unless it's a yard truck somewhere, there's no way it can be an over the road truck. It's gonna have to be a yard truck because I mean, you look at it. It will take them at least 15 years to put enough daggum plug-ins in truck stops for you to plug in at night.
Yeah, but the cost is going to be so high to do so.
Exactly.
Bates Garage. Good morning. That's got to be Kevin.
And Ken, I do agree that's a coffee run for most people. 150 miles. Yeah, that's no. On 150 miles on a semi is just stupid.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
All right, I gotta get off here, Mark. Hopefully, insurance adjuster don't fall off the roof today.
Yep.
Have a good day, Ken.
Have a good day.
Happy.
Ken.
Are you all going to breakfast or what?
I think.
Yeah. Afterwards, after he gets done, gonna go probably someplace here in Alliance. So I gotta work on his van.
There's nothing.
Yeah, but I gotta work on his van.
There's nothing in Alliance.
Yeah, there is.
What's in Alliance?
That's
way.
Ain't Alliance where they grease the wheel bearings on them omnibus buggies.
You'll do patties somewhere.
We can do.
Well, just call me. When you figure it out, call me on your time.
All right. Later.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow. What was you saying, Daryl, about the buggies?
I said Alliance, wasn't that where the only thing in Alliance is where they grease up the buggies for the omnibus people, ain't it?
Yeah, pretty much. They're all around me down here.
Oh.
We got the Dunkards.
Since
Mennonites.
And since especially since all them daggum automotive factories closed down up there, there ain't nothing up there hardly anymore.
Right. Vogue is owned by China now.
We got it.
Yeah. Yes. What a sweet.
That sounds like a plan, Wayne.
All right, everybody. I got to get out of here. I got to go get my iced coffee. And I'm going live on Facebook at 8 o'clock, which I know Ken goes live on YouTube at 8 o'clock, but it's a different type of whole panel. So please attend to Ken. It's on one of my groups in Cumberland.
Tomorrow, Lucky.
Yeah, Ken don't go today. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll be live on Facebook, not YouTube, 8 o'clock. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye, Lucky. Have fun.
All right. I'm still going to be in the chat. I'll be listening.
Okay,
All
cool.
right. Thanks for coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Wayne, the switching the batteries is just going to be like the old tow motors where you just pull up to the battery bank and they switch the battery out and you go on your way with the tow motor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pay a fee and go.
Yeah, I could probably deal with a hybrid car.
To change the batteries in a
Probably.
Yeah, but an all electric vehicle, I don't think I could deal with it. I grew up with too much having to repair stuff, so.
Well, I think it's ridiculous with the electric stuff because, quite frankly, the Chargers are run off of diesel.
Right.
I think that's just silly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's just the environmentalist wanting to clean up the air and do this and do that. But you know, when they do away with the coal for making the power and all that and everything, you realize what these people are going to be paying for power bills and all that per month to operate your home? It's
Well,
crazy.
yeah, but then you look at all the chemicals it takes to make a solar panel.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
mean, so in other words, they're not accomplishing one bit. I mean, it twisted. If you've been out across Texas out there, where there's miles and miles and miles of nothing in windmills,
Mhm.
and 3/4 of them ain't even running.
Right.
I mean, so in other words, and then they said they can't. They did the ones that have when they quit working, they just leave them standing there.
Right.
They're gonna eventually have to take them down.
Right.
I mean,
Yep.
and replace them. So what?
Oklahoma's starting to look like that too, and
But
it.
do you realize how much oil is up there in that
Yeah,
generator
they,
motor up there in the air? How are
Yep.
they going to do away with it? They're not. They're not.
no,
Wind turbines need oil and grease.
A lot of it
Mhm.
because they're
Well-
massive.
Yeah,
well,
I saw the blade for one. It was bigger than most airplanes, and
Yeah.
I've got Boeing up here, about 20 miles away. So I see them assembling the the Boeing jets. I see those wings.
Mhm.
Well-
The windmills are bigger than that.
yeah. About one side of one blade is. I did some of them trucks is pulling 100 feet. I mean, 100-foot loads behind them when
Right.
they're just pulling one blade.
And
That's
it can
one.
only
That's one half a blade because once you go out to the other side of it, it's another 100 foot. So
Yeah. And they can only put it
one blade at a time.
one per deal because otherwise it overloads the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Van Wert, Ohio, they're putting those big wind turbines up left and right out there, all on the flats and stuff. It's all big turbines.
Mm-hmm. When I go down and see my, go ahead.
And then right over here in Dublin, Virginia, they're talking about putting 200 acres of nothing daggum solar panels in.
Yep.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, I don't know. I don't see it ever. It's not going. It's not, they've tried it before, and they don't have the infrastructure to do away with the coal and the natural gas and all that, and or oil in period because
Right.
I mean,
Now we got a feed mill, and it's all powered by water. They have a water wheel, and the water's coming down, spinning the wheel, and that's what powers that whole feed mill, and it's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
yeah,
Yeah, when I go see my dad, as I'm driving, I've got 2 stretches that are nothing but open road. All you see on either side is pasture. Got the cows and stuff out there, so it's beautiful. I love it. But now in the second section, as I get out of one town, but before I get to the other, I'm seeing pasture and windmill, 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 and it's like, oh,
Cool.
it just
well, I mean, I've been through, at least with that pipeline they shut down. At least they're burying it underground.
Yeah.
You got with these daggum windmills and solar farms. You can't. All you got to do is that ugly, daggum shiny, and you can't really tell me that a solar panel is not going to hold heat in toward the earth to make it and not make it the temperature rise. I mean, I might be old, dumb, and old fashioned, but that's just the way I see it.
Right. You're exactly right, Wayne. They put all them windmills up, and then they run them to other states and stuff. They go where they can make the money.
Well, when I lived in South Carolina, I was right next to one of the oldest nuclear power plants in the country, But I mean, they never did. But we did not. Our lights did not come from that doggone thing. And I mean, I was 3 miles from it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it went to North Carolina when North Carolina sent their electricity back to South Carolina. So
Yep.
Right.
We don't get the windmill energy here. It's shipped out. I don't know where it's shipped to, but it's not us. Because I wouldn't be having $200 a month electric bills. I'd be having probably about 100 or less, which would be nice.
Well, they're trying to make everything go green, so
yeah,
but the expense is going to be phenomenal. And who's going to pay for that expense? Everybody that's using that power.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be cheaper.
No, everybody, period, is going to be paying for the expense, whether we're using the power or not. Because we're paying for the windmills here, even though we're not getting the power from them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep. There's just...
Uh-oh. Construction site. Uh-oh.
Ooh, fun.
He's at maybe Tractor Supply.
Yep.
Yep, Tractor Supply.
Yeah, I got to get some master links for some chain.
Oh, yeah.
But they don't open until 8 o'clock, so I got a little bit of a peek.
Yeah, I'm looking for...
But I'd rather be the first person anyway. I can't stand, shopping at all,
Where'd Perkins go? Is he sleeping somewhere?
I've been to 10 years.
I don't know.
Wow.
Where you at, James?
Well, if your Tractor Supply is like mine, good luck finding them links.
Yeah.
No, this one's pretty good. This one is in.
But you're also talking Connecticut. Connecticut don't have them big farms like they do here.
Town, Connecticut. So.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, our Tractor Supply here don't have anything. I mean,
really?
We have two. This one here is 15 miles from me. The other one's 10 miles from me. But for the extra 5-mile ride, there's more farms out this way. So they tend to carry a lot more stuff that you'd need for a breakdown, like shivs and gears and belts.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they don't have. They don't. I mean, you walk into this one in here and you can't get anything for a lawnmower or anything like that. No parts for lawnmowers or.
Oh,
Hey, speaking of plastic cups,
we have Roll King. Roll King's pretty good.
Yeah, well, we got. I mean, that's what we've been doing lately. Is Rule King has become our favorite one, but
yeah,
I like Royal King. They got good jeans. That's where I buy my jeans. That's where I buy my jeans at.
I haven't been to a Tractor Supply in years because once I moved to Oklahoma City, there's no need of it. The nearest farm is a good 45 miles away. So
here it's not only farms though, it's people that own pets like pigs and goats and stuff like that. They use it as a feed store too.
Yeah. Ours is like that.
You're not allowed to have that up here.
No.
Your pets are either dog, cat, or birds. You cannot you can't have pigs, you can't have goats.
You could do it. Need a permit if it's other than a domesticated animal, yeah.
Nope, you still can't have it.
Wow.
You can't even have a chicken in the city limit unless it's going on your plate that night.
Wow. Good old government.
Yeah. Now, I grew up where I had a 1/4 acre pasture right there. So, we had a couple of Dad had a couple of goats out there, and it used to be a pig farm. Right before Grandpa passed away, we got rid of the pigs. But
I think every kid should grow up on a farm, at least, or spend a summer there, just to realize how food is made and how the real world works.
Yeah.
most kids couldn't go out and bale hay.
I know.
Well, I'll tell you how smart the kids are these days. We got a neighbor over here that his son. I told him I was out of work having his daddy work on something out in the shop, and I told him to get me a flat-headed screwdriver, and he could not even he didn't even know what the hell a flat-headed screwdriver was. And he was 18 years old.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a better one yet, Daryl. Our son, this is funny. Okay, he's an engineer. Okay, works at Ken's favoriteest place, MK Morris. Okay, he got a flat tire on his car. His girlfriend had to come and change the tire because he couldn't change the damn tire on the car.
Holy
I
shit.
cannot count the
I am
number of
dead serious.
He was only what, 17,
Yeah.
16?
I can't count the number of times I changed tires at the gas station.
The kid is so smart.
Yeah.
You hand him 2 wrenches, he couldn't make it work.
But hey, as a former engineer, because I actually have an engineering degree, as a former engineer, let me tell you one thing about engineers. There are book smart engineers and there are practical engineers. The ones that went to a 2-year technical school where you had to run machinery and make stuff, those are the best. The ones I had hired engineers with PhDs. I was an engineering manager. Okay. I hired them with PhDs. If they could tell you how to calculate the coefficient of thermal expansion for an exotic material, but you tell them what the diameter, ask them what the diameter of a 1032 screw is, they're like, what's that? You know, not practical. Theoretical, absolutely, but practical, no. They're book smart, and book smart doesn't make the machinery. So then I hired people that knew how to design machines that didn't have college education, but they could design equipment, and that's what I did.
Yeah.
Right.
We taught all of our children how to change tires and change the oil in their vehicles, how to make sure they had everything they needed in their vehicle in wintertime. You know, I mean, we did how to check all the fluids in their vehicles. You know, we did all that with our kids, our
You were
girls
smart.
and our boys.
You were smart.
We didn't want them to be, you know, fools on the side of the road.
Yeah, but everybody today relies on AAA. So if they spend $100 a year, oh, my card, I don't have to know anything.
I'll give you a better one than what Mark had. 3 girls. One of them's a set of 16-year-old twins. The other one's 17. Don't know if they're friends or sisters. Brand new Audi SUV. The paper tag on it was 2 days old. 11 o'clock at night. Come into the gas station to get gas. My coworker and I look out because it's almost shift change, and we're looking at them like, "What are they doing?" Because they're out at the pump for 5 minutes. We figure they're using their credit card. They come in. How do we put this 20 in the machine to get gas?
Oh, Lordy.
Boy. Wow.
That's
it. Plastic.
Yeah, we set them up for the gas, and then she had to go out there and help them get the gas tank open to get the gas cap off. And she asked me, she says, "How come you didn't do it?" I said, "Because I'm laughing too hard." As soon as they walked out the door, I took 4 steps away from the register and hid in our sink area where we cleaned our soda machine and busted a gut.
That's okay. I get kids that want to work. I get kids that want to work for me that's never washed a car in their life.
Wow.
Oh yeah. But it would really mess people up is the wife's new car does not have a gas cap. You open the door and literally put the damn hose in the fill neck. And when I went to get gas in her car, I was like, when I opened that little door, I'm like, what in the hell is this?
That's probably what I would be saying.
I drove my brother's truck that way one time, and I opened the door of it, and they didn't have no cap on. And I was sitting there looking at it, and trying to figure out how in the heck why is it even running without it?
Yeah,
and
all of our Ford pickups at work don't have.
That was his Ford. He was a Ford.
Yeah, the technology is unbelievable, but like I said, it's crazy.
Yep.
It's like they think the gas is going to miracle itself in the car.
So
the gas pump is a vending machine.
Can you imagine some of these kids nowadays trying to put gas in a 1970 some model car?
Right.
They would never figure out this.
They wouldn't figure out how to get it. Yeah.
Behind the tag, boy. They wouldn't figure it was behind the daggum tag. I mean,
That's too funny.
They wouldn't be able to do that. Most of the kids I know would not be able to do that.
Well, they couldn't drive a stick shift. Think about that.
Right.
They don't make it anymore, right? Who makes a stick shift anymore? Nobody.
That's a special order vehicle now. If you want a stick shift, you have to order it.
Yeah, remember?
Hey, Mark.
Extra for automatic. Now it's the
Yeah.
Mater says he's trying to get in on panel.
I keep dropping the link.
I'm sending him the links up because I saw you drop it.
Okay, and I just dropped it again.
Okay.
If anybody wants a coffee, just come on down and okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, I'm gonna come on up to Rhode Island for coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't got 20 hours to spare.
Wow.
I got a client at 10 o'clock, so can't do that.
Yeah, or
Here's
finding the jack.
Yeah.
Well, it's even with the semi trucks now, Mark. How the heck I mean, everything they're building out here now is them lazy matic trucks. I mean, I don't think I could drive a lazy matic. I'd be scared. I'd be scared to death. I couldn't go down a hill. I mean, because I ain't got a way to downshift.
Right. Well, I'll tell you, my son, he has that new Volvo, and it's automatic.
Yeah.
He won't drive my old standard shift truck, but he don't like it. It's got the 13 in it.
Lucky, I appreciate the offer.
And he just hates to drive it.
Well,
Lucky, if I'm ever up that way, I'll be more than happy to come visit and take you out for coffee. But I have to get that way.
Mater, it's right above your comment.
Yeah, I told him links up, and then I told him to refresh the page. So
he's there.
He's right there.
Yeah,
he's on the screen.
There he is.
Hey.
I did.
But now also, I'm going to tell you something else about these new cars. You go and look for a spare tire. Morning, Mater. A spare tire is a joke. You know what the spare tire is? It comes with a damn air pump and a plug kit.
Yep.
That's the spare tire.
Yep.
Well,
they are no longer required to put a spare tire and jack in their car.
They're used. I mean, back in the 70s, they tried that, but they had them little gas canisters in the car. Would go in with them little Mickey Mouse spare tires in them and
donuts
and that gas cylinder.
Yeah, they're not even required to put a donut in the car anymore.
Nope.
Wow.
Yep.
It's phenomenal. They're making these things like a piece of paper, crumble up, throw away, but you're paying top dollar for this, all this electronic junk and everything that you know is going to fail.
Well, right now, you know, everybody keeps saying there's a chip shortage and all this stuff. There's Volvo trucks in every empty lot sitting around within 15, 20 miles of this place. They're sitting in any place they can get that they can rent or whatever else to part in Volvos, because evidently they can't get parts. There's one or two parts that they got to be put on them before they can even ship them out. So
yeah. The biggest thing I like is whenever I pull up somewhere, this guy's looking at my truck and looking at it and looking at it. He's like, "Where do you put the DEF in this thing?" I said, "This thing don't take no DEF." Well, that's a newer truck. How do you get away with that? I said, it was bought as a glider kit, and it's got the old 60 series Detroit in it, and the motor is behind a 99, so I can literally get away without having to run the ELO. Just rebuild the motor and go on.
Yep.
Well, that was fun.
What'd you do?
Nothing. Just went through a full DOT inspection.
Good.
That's nice.
Was that truck stop?
Of course. Right on the side of the highway.
Yeah.
They just made me disconnect a set of doubles to weigh me up.
Wow.
I said, why? Then he gets mad because it takes me 15 minutes to put it back together because you have to drive around the circle and come back. He says, what are you doing? He says, hurry up. I said, it's doubles, asshole. That's what I call it, too.
So why would you break them
You don't hook them together.
Why would you?
Because you have to break. They made me break apart each trailer.
Wow.
That's what they wanted. What am I going to do? Sit there and argue with them?
No.
He said they can't get an accurate way.
Yeah, you don't argue with him. You hand him the keys, and there you go. I'm not stopping you from doing your job. Have at it.
That's a DOT.
Oh, no.
Yep.
You think they know what they're doing?
Well, that's what they want. You hand them the key. They can do it. You're not stopping them.
Wow.
No.
How do you charge time off though, Scott? Does your boss give you extra time for that?
I don't get paid by the hour.
No.
Nope.
No, you got to run what that e-log says, and when you're out of hours, you're out of hours. You're done. DOT inspection or not, they can burn you up to an hour.
Yep.
Yep.
All he does is he calls his boss, say, "Hey, I'm going to be behind because I'm in an inspection."
Well,
and that's just to cover his ass.
Oh, I unplug I log out and unplug the computer and roll. If I have to, but I've never had to.
Yep. If anybody wanted coffee, all they had to do was go to Rhode Island. Lucky offered up the coffee.
Because technically, I'm within 100. I'm within so many air miles. I don't even have to have a log.
I'm pretty close to lucky, but it would probably cost me about $50 in gas to go there and back.
Yeah,
It's
it
free
cost
coffee.
me. It cost me 20 hours, and I don't even know what on gas.
Oh, Lord.
No, I get a flat rate per load. We've been getting out of there 2 hours on average every night this week, the last 2 weeks, because they're giving them extra $2 an hour because of COVID, which ends, and they say, oh, it's not because of that. I said, yeah, bull crap.
Mm-hmm.
I can honestly say, whenever I come pulling into a DOT inspection, they wave me right on through because I keep my outfit nice and clean and shining and everything working. When I come into them, I have all my lights on.
I love the trucks that are so dirty you can't even read the marker plate.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Then those guys wonder why they get pulled over.
Yeah.
And then they say, well, you spend too much time shining the wheels and all this and that. No, they don't bother me. Whenever I come rolling in there, they wave me right on through. I've actually went through a DOT inspection, doubled out, overweight, and I'm like, I told Sandy, I said, up, they're going to get me right here. They waved me right on through, and I kept right on going.
Well,
They've never got DOT is. I've been through a couple times. They never check the tractor. All they want to do is weigh the truck. They think I'm gonna be overweight. They checked it out. They came back and they said your two trailers weigh 115,000. I said, and your point? Oh, that you're only supposed to have 80. I says you might want to check my registration, buddy.
You can gross as long as your truck is plated for it and you have a permit.
The truck's plated for 150,000 pounds. Why, I don't know, but that's what they got it.
But Mark, there's one thing I had a clean, pretty much a brand new truck, and I come up through Tennessee one time at one of them pull off things that they have in Tennessee, and they were checking everybody's fuel to see whether you was actually running that dyed fuel or not.
Yep, different tanks.
And well, he pulled me over. He said, well, it's your lucky day. You get to get the full inspection. He said, but you know what? It's mighty damn cold out here. Would you mind if I sit up in your seat of the truck where it's warm at? And he gave me a daggum category 1 inspection. The brake adjustments and everything, sitting in the front seat of my truck. He asked me, he said, where'd you start driving? I said, over in Arkansas. He said, I said, here's my logbook, you want to see it? He said, if you say it's all right, I believe you. I mean, all he wanted to do was get a 20-minute break. So
and warm.
Yeah, in a warm truck. So,
But that's the downfall of them DOT inspections, Daryl.
yeah,
If you be an ass, you just opened up a can of worms that you didn't want.
yeah.
You fill them with kindness and being super nice to them, you're going to skate right on through, and they ain't going to argue with you.
Well, I got it in Kentucky one time. I was running empty. I didn't even have a load on, and they were they pulling random trucks in behind on the scale house in Kentucky, and he pulled me around there, and I go he tells me to pull on around and park it, bring my paperwork inside. So I did all that. And started walking the door, this driver come out. He was cussing them up one side down the other,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know. And he said he looked at me, and when I walked in, I said, "Well, y'all sure made that guy's day." What? I said, "Doggone, he wasn't happy with you." I'm just sitting there laughing my head off, and he said, he said, "Well, look like you're in a good mood today, driver." I said, "Yeah." I said, because all my paperwork's straight and all this stuff. He said, well, that guy got shut down for 8 hours. I
Uh-huh.
said, well, I said, as far as I know, all my paperwork's straight up. I said, I ain't even got a load on yet. I was going to get my load. And he said, well, I wish everybody had the attitude you had. I said, the way I see it, you got a job to do, and I got a job to do. Your job is to catch me doing something I'm not supposed to do, but my job is to keep you from catching me doing something I'm not supposed to do. So they didn't even look at nothing. That was another time they didn't even look at nothing and told me to get out of there.
Later, Willie.
See you, Willie. But
Bye,
it's
Willie.
based on your conduct. Your conduct is either going to help you or bury you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many times I had to go up to the Bland scales there in Virginia when I worked for Hills Trucking and Coal and tow our trucks out of there because they got shut down.
Yeah.
And mainly all for logs and all that. And old Gus Hill that owns Hills would send me up there and I would hook to them and tow them out of there. And I'd only take them down over to the other side of Bland and drop them, and the driver would take off again.
Yeah.
And Gus was good for that shit.
Yeah. And I mean,
Gus did what he wanted to do.
Pretty
He
much.
didn't give a shit.
Well, when you got big money like that, Hills is a big company. A lot of people don't realize how big Gus is there.
Yeah. I mean,
I won't take an overweight load.
Yeah, but they're buckets and grain haulers, them boys, and they put it on.
Oh yeah. But I mean, if I won't take a load that's heavier than what the truck is registered for. I won't do it.
Nah, I won't do it either because I have a hard time putting that money away.
Gee, thanks, Ed.
Well,
I've seen that. That's a good comment.
I had 2 overweight loads in 20 years, and
Yes.
one was because both times was because I was because it was late Friday night, and I figured the damn scale house, the only scale house I was going to go through, would be closed by the time I got there. Well,
Oops.
and of course they closed it as I was pulling in on the ramp going in there. And my bills didn't say I didn't have 40,000 pounds, so there wasn't no use. I wasn't going to scale it. Wasn't really no reason to scale it. But they put every daggone heavy thing they had on it on that butt end of the trailer.
New Jersey, and Connecticut are the 2 worst states for their scales never being closed. Sorry about that, Ken, but oh yeah, your Connecticut sucks when it comes to their scales. They're always open. I've never gone through Connecticut without them damn scales being open.
Well, Wallingford though, usually Wallingford closes once in a while.
Yeah. Well, the worst state, the crookedest state
Mater, watch it.
The crookedest one with scale houses is Maryland.
Oh yeah.
Now you talking about crooks? Now them bastards is crooks.
Oh yeah.
I was hauling a load of FedEx, so I picked it up in Columbia, South Carolina, and was hauling it into Newark, New Jersey. I stopped at that scale house there at the I-95 at the toll booth.
Uh-huh.
They flagged me over and pulled me across the pit. I had a brand new truck I picked up in Iowa, brand new Freightliner. I picked it up in Iowa, went over to Wabash, Indiana, picked up a brand new trailer, and hauled it, and I hauled it down the load down to South Carolina, picked up that FedEx on that same trailer, and hauled it back, going back up with it. I mean, I got less than 3,000 miles on the truck, period. And he come out from under there. He had a stack of paperwork about 10 or 15 pages thick, and he said, "Driver, I could shut you down right now on all this stuff." I said, "Well, what are you serving at? What are they serving at the jailhouse this evening for supper tonight?" He looked at me and said, "You trying to be smart, driver?" I said, "No, sir." I said, "But if you find," I said, "this is a brand new truck and a brand new Wabash trailer." I said, "So, in other words, if you found that many violations on this truck, I want to go to jail." I said, "Because then I got a suit against the state of Maryland, or against the state, or against Freightliner trucks and Wabash trailers. So I want to go to jail."
Yeah.
You know, he wrote them all up, and with no, with just so I couldn't have a clean violation, clean
Right.
DOT inspection. He wrote them all up, but it was all them little plastic wire ties that goes to that little wire that goes to the brake line.
Uh-huh.
He wrote up every one of them on that truck
Wow.
and trailer. And so when I got dropped in New Jersey, I told them I needed to get to a company shop because they got to fix all this stuff that that Maryland had found wrong with my truck.
Mm-hmm.
So they sent me over to Indiana with a load going in Indiana, dropping Indiana. And when I got there, I walked in the shop. I handed him the paperwork. He said, "You got to be friggin' kidding me!" I mean, they just signed off on it and said, "All right, you good to go." I mean, I said, because technically every Freightliner on the road has those little wire ties that hold that anti-lock brake wire going down to it.
Right.
Every one of them has that on it. I said, so in other words, you can write every Freightliner truck coming down the highway up for that. I mean,
but you know what? You know what that wire is for? That is for nothing more than that dummy light of the ABS. That is all that wire.
That's all it is. Yeah.
And it doesn't affect the braking power or nothing of them brakes.
He made it sound like that those little plastic wire ties was going to cut through a brake line.
Right.
I mean, I said, do you know how many hundreds of thousands of miles that's going to have to go before that actually cuts into a?
Oh boy. Yeah, they come up with some real gimmicks. But anyway, guys, we're gonna have to shut this thing down. I think Pate's performance is going live at 8 o'clock.
Yep.
So, and I don't want to run over on anybody. So we're gonna call it quits.
Happy Easter, everybody.
Yep. Have a good Easter.
Happy Easter.
Everybody in the chat.
I'm sorry he's blaming you guys for this. I
think it's funny. I'm laughing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everybody in the chat.
I'll get him eventually. Trust me. I'll get him.
Everybody, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you all. Appreciate the super chats, and we'll see you all later on. Thanks for coming in.
See you tonight, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.